Com. Eric Williamson on the other side. George Nima here with you, the host. Yes. And can't forget this fan. Please take a pan on that fan. Because I want the world to see your little fan. Yeah, touch it up a little. Make it, yeah. This is, wherever he goes, it goes with him. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mariposa Talk Show, and I'm really excited to have with me Jeff Zink. Ladies and gentlemen, and he's running for?
I'm running for Congress in Congressional District 3 against Ruben Gallego.
Which is that's a tough gig you're carrying. My question, I'm going to go right off the bat. You know me, I'm a tough guy. I'm sweet and nice, but I'm not that nice sometimes.
Yes,
I want to know, can you pan out this camera? The reason why I was excited to see you here, because you're about the people.
Yeah.
Why are you not on this?
It's because I wasn't invited.
I want to know why Jeff Zink is not invited on the biggest stage of the state of Arizona for the whole candidate and the nominees. You're no different than the next one. Can you explain to me? Well, I'm very honest on this. I know I put you on the spot, and I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. They say I ask the soft questions. Those are not soft questions. This is the toughest question, what he has to spell out. Can you tell us what's going on, sir?
Well, the thing is that Kelly Ward has come and she talked to me directly, and she stated that she wasn't going to give me any time, money, resources, or effort. And the thing is that the RNC has done the same thing. They actually closed down the RNC that was on 20th and Baseline.
That I know about.
And 18 months it stayed closed. Then 4 months ago, before the election, they reopened a new one and they put it in a really bad place.
Yeah, I saw it.
And so the thing is that they brought Blake Masters in. And I had called for 2 weeks prior to that out to Blake Masters, reaching out, trying to talk with his people, and nobody responded whatsoever. So I went ahead and showed up.
Do you have the right
anyway.
Contacts? Because I sometimes, as a media, it takes me a long time to get a hold of certain ones.
After a year, you have the right contacts.
Oh,
Yeah.
1 year after a year?
Yeah.
This is, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is all new to me. I just want you to know. And that's why I pinned you. When I looked, I said, where's Jeff Zink?
Yeah.
I mean, it's common sense because I know everyone.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I was saying, okay, it's just questionable. And
Oh,
as a
absolutely.
media, it's my job. I'm sorry if I put you on the spot.
No, it's not.
Because I know the hard work and the shoes you buried while you're running, canvassing from house to house. I don't want to exaggerate the numbers. They're in the thousands. And that doesn't go in vain.
About 24,000 now.
24,000. See how I knew? 24,000. Yeah, but not, you know what? The hardest candidate worker you are. You've worked so hard knocking on doors. And in the neighborhood, some of them did not even like you probably because you
Not
like
at the beginning,
Not,
they
but
didn't.
now they do, right?
Now they do. See, and the thing is that I had a lady this morning who was a white lady, white hair, very well dressed, and the thing that gets me is that she was looking at my new posters,
Right.
which I have out here, yard signs now. I got a donation that actually says Think Zink. Jeff Zink for Congress, and has my website on there. I just got them today. And I was standing there in the UPS store where the lady was handing them to me, and she comes up and she goes, "So what are you doing here?" And I said, "Well, I'm running for Congress against Ruben Gallego."
Wow.
She goes, "Well, Ruben has done so much for our community and has really helped, and I don't know why you're even wasting your time and money and everything." And I didn't say anything. The ladies behind the UPS counter said he hasn't done a darn thing.
Well, this is why when I said that in the neighborhood that might not like you, because no offense, it's an Hispanic and minorities neighborhood, and here you are walking unafraid because you want to serve the public, and that's why I brought that up, but I didn't finish my sentence. So when you tell me the GOP did not support you, was that from the beginning, or
very
this just
beginning.
happened now?
No.
Why am I finding out about this? Well, tonight it struck me funny.
I went beforehand and said, I'm declaring. And they said, well, we can't support you until we find out if you're going to have a primary. Well, I didn't have a primary.
Well,
and then when I won my primary because nobody ran against me, I went back to them and I said, okay, I won my primary. How are you going to help me? And they said, no, we're not giving you any time, money, resources, or effort.
Okay, I had to defend them a little bit. Big tent event was done by groups.
Right.
It wasn't done by the GOP. This particular gathering, it was done by bunch, like they all got together,
Right.
Patriot of Arizona, coalitions. So you really can't blame the GOP on this.
No, I can't.
But why are they not following you to invite you that has nothing to do with the GOP? You're a
and
citizen.
that's
I'm very honest with you.
Yeah, and
You're
that's
an American
something
citizen. You won your nominee, and I demand to know why Jeff Zink not in this with this group. Why they're not here? Why you're not in this on this?
They never sent me
flyer.
an email. They never sent me any information. I recently, because of Nicole reaching out to me, she's the one who said, hey, you need to be a part of this. And I went, well, a part of what? And so she ended up sending me the information, and I only found out less than a week ago that this was even happening.
If your district is watching right now, sir, which is they all do and they will, what do you have a message for them? How are you gonna serve them? Because the only way you could beat the status quo is by getting the numbers and votes. What do you have out there to say to them, sir?
Okay, well, so one of the things that I've got several polls that have just come out. One recent poll of 230 Democrats. Out of that, 57% of them said they were going to vote for me. 30% were going to vote for Ruben, and the rest was divided between undecided and not even or refusing to do the survey.
Right.
So the thing is that it's showing right now that I'm running about 27 points ahead.
Okay.
Of
That's
Ruben.
huge. That's
So-
huge.
And that's just last week. And so the thing is that what I'm trying to tell people is that I want to try to raise in this week $20,000. What am I going to do with it? I'm going to buy airtime on all Spanish stations here in the Phoenix area, and they're going to be in Spanish. It's to let the Latinos know that they actually have somebody that's going to fight for them. This is why it's so important,
Right.
because I had 3 gentlemen that I went up and talked to that were sitting out in front of the yard. And they said, Jeff, if you will provide us a really good job,
Right.
what can you do? And I said, well, I'm working right now with some manufacturing companies. I've got some business people that are coming together. I met Saturday with the president and the governor of the Native American Tribal Council.
Right.
What I asked them to do is to get me the land that is at Baseline and the 202 outside the loop right there. And if I do that, then we will be able to put manufacturing in there. So here is jobs that you do not have to have a degree. And they can go to work. They can get paid $20 to $25 an hour. They can work 40 hours a week, and they can also make benefits. Right now, all 3 of these gentlemen said, what we work at this one job for about 4 hours. Then we have to go to another job, and we work there for 4 hours. And then we work at the other one for about 6 hours. So here these guys are working 3 jobs because none of them want to pay benefits. So they're having to go and work their jobs, all these different jobs, in order to put food on their plate and to feed their families. Here's the problem that we're having.
Yes, sir.
I was asked by the PBS that I was a climate control denier. And they said, what do you have to say for yourself? And I said, it's not an issue. The reason why is because none of the people that I'm representing, they don't care about the climate change. They don't want electric cars. They don't want any of these things there because it's going to double or triple their electric bill. They're struggling to make ends meet right now. And so if they're
Can you tell me where the dynamics, since you mentioned this, we have to say geography. Mm-hmm. Can you give me the geography of the area?
Absolutely. And so it's in Levine, South Mountain, Guadalupe, South Central, just above the airport, all the way over to Southeast Glendale, and then the south part of Tolleson. And so that's my geographical location. The thing is that every one of the people that I'm representing, like I said, they're having to struggle between the high electric bill, the high gas bill, and the high food bill. So they have more money or they have more month than they have money. Right. And that's why they're struggling so much. And so this is something that people need to realize is that if you put in something like the Democrats and what they're trying to do, they're going to double or triple their electric bill. Here's what they have to make a decision on.
Right.
Do I put gas in my car so I can go to my job?
I'm having that issue too.
Right.
Look, we all have this problem.
Or what happens when all of a sudden they put gas in their car? Now they don't have money to put food on the table. So these are the real conversations.
The climate change is like it's going to be another matter altogether.
Okay, now here's something. I'm a scientist. All right.
Yes.
Did you know that in 1600s, when the Pilgrims came over,
right,
and they had Plymouth Rock, did you know that the same sea level and 1600s is the same sea level
yes.
today?
Yes.
Okay, there's no change.
No, there's no change.
All right, and here's the other thing. Why is it that Obama and all of these Democrats buying multi-million-dollar homes on the coastline if they were afraid of climate change and the rising waters?
Rising water coming.
And so it's all a farce. So we need to sit down and start electing people that are going to actually do what is right, and that is taking care of the people, and that's what I'm going to do. I want to take care and represent the people here in Phoenix, Arizona, South Mountain area, and make sure that we do what we're supposed to do in Washington, D.C., and I want to take those people. So 67% of the population is Latino. 21% is Caucasian, 8% Black, 2% Asian, and 2% Native American. That's what makes up my congressional district and stuff. So the thing is, for me, 168,000 people are registered Democrats. 118,000 are independents. 47,000 are Republicans. If I get
to outreach, you need to.
I've got to cross the aisle to the Democrats
to get them.
And I'm doing that left and right. I've got more people. I had one lady that actually shook my hand, had tears in her eyes today, going, "Thank you. I'm so tired of Ruben Gallego. He doesn't do anything for us." So we now have somebody that actually represents. So here's what I tell people. Ruben.
Where's this camera?
Ruben is in a.
Talk to the camera, please, for this one.
I'm gonna talk to everybody here.
Talk to the people, yes.
Okay. So one of the things that I'm going to tell you is this. I'm going to fight 100% for you as Latinos. Here's the thing. Conservative values that are Christian know no ethnicity. And so it doesn't matter what walk of life you are. If you are Hispanic and you are Christian, then you are for somebody who doesn't live in a gated community, which I don't. Ruben lives in a gated community, but he has voted 100% of the time to keep the borders open. We need to make sure that we close those borders. We make sure that we don't allow fentanyl. We don't allow the sex trafficking to come through our borders. That needs to be shut down. The other is that he is a military veteran that has rescinded his oath. He has voted 100% of the time against the Second Amendment. This is something that we need to make sure that we keep our guns, because we have a tyrannical government that will walk over us, and the only thing that's stopping them right now is the guns that we have, and we need to make sure that we don't lose those. Here's the third thing. We need to make sure that we send somebody that will represent those Christian values. See, Ruben wants to kill children 28 days after they've been born. It's a law that's been passed in California, Colorado, Illinois, New York, and New Jersey. All 5 of these states already have this on the books, where you can kill a child 28 days after it's been born. This needs to stop. And the only way it's going to stop is to put somebody that is a pastor, that has a sports medicine background, that is taught in Division I school, universities, pre-med, pre-nursing, anatomy and physiology. I know that there's only 2 genders. I don't care what you identify. And you know what? Your pronouns, I don't care. I could care less. That's what my pronouns are. When people ask me, I say I don't care. the thing is that I'm going to live in reality. I'm not going to live in your fantasy world. So if this is what you want and this is what you want to have, then this is what you need to vote for, and vote for me, because I promise you these are the values that I will represent when I go to Washington, D.C.
Well done, well spoken. But my other question, because nobody knows where we are, I forgot to introduce. We are here at Dream City Church. Yes. Well, we have to be honest. I went because I was really upset when I saw him not here. That's really, and I'm as a media guy sometimes my heart takes over. I'm not mad at anybody. I get disappointed. So you saw the beginning of the interview, it was more passion than it was interview. Because now I want to go back to the interview, because a lot of people are going to be questioning, where are all this noise? All this noise behind us, as you know, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to explain it, you can.
Absolutely. So
yeah.
we're here at the big tent event. We're supposed to be united and we'll win again. The thing is that what we're doing is that all of the Republican candidates have come, and we're supposed to be representing unity together. And so we have Kelly Ward, who's our GOP chairman,
chairwoman,
and we've got our congressman, we've got Carrie Lake, we've got all these people, we've got several hundred of people that has also showed up. And so the noise behind us is that we're actually piping out what's taking place inside Dream City here in Cave Creek. And so one of the things that I urge you to do is to go and actually follow these people. Congressman Biggs actually gave a shout out to me.
Well, that's right. I was ready to go. This is why I put this paper so you can remember.
And
my question to you is, I want you to name every one of them that reached out to you.
Oh, absolutely. So Congressman Biggs has reached out to me. He's the one that gave a shout out at the Trump rally for me.
Andy Gibbs, ladies and gentlemen. He's a congressman.
Absolutely.
U.S. congressman.
And what a wonderful congressman he's been for many years, and a staple. The next one is Congressman Paul Gosar.
Yes.
He and I had talked about my son, and while he was on the J6 committee hearing.
Yes.
And when we talked that Tuesday, we talked on a Saturday for 2.5 hours. He was actually going to bring me on and have me testify before the congressional hearing. And on Tuesday, he retweeted a post that had been sent to him, and for that, he got removed from all of his congressional committees.
Yes.
And they immediately called me and said, "You no longer need to testify."
That's right.
And kicked me out. I was that close.
Well, that's why I put this in front of you, sir, so you could do this flashbacks.
And then also,
the voters want to know what's going on over here.
Oh, absolutely. And the other thing too is Mark Fincham has come out, and he and I have been working together on an app. Right. Votify Now. And Votify Now is if, people always said, Jeff, you've worked the Arizona audit, you've worked the primary audit, you've worked the Texas audit, the Florida audit, the Georgia, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, and Colorado.
Wait, I'm out of fingers.
Yeah.
I'm out of fingers.
And so the thing is that you've done all these things. What can I do? And I go, here's what you do. You go to the app on your, whether it's an iPhone or a Android, and you download Votify Now, and that's Votifynow. And so Votify Now, and nope, it's an app, so that's all you have to put in. And so what you do is once you've downloaded that, then you sign up. And when you sign up, what's going to happen is that now you have a voice. If you see something, take video, take pictures, and then you put a description in on that, and you send this to Johnny. And Johnny is the guy who's actually developing that, and he and I have been talking and working together and stuff. And so one of the things is that we need to take those videos and we send those. And what he does is he then sends it to the sheriff of that county. Right. And it's all 50 states. It doesn't matter. Nice. And so what we do is now we're going to be looking at the evidence that has now been presented and the description. And once we file that, we're going to be able to then have a report. The other thing that we're also telling everybody is that if you've got a mail-in ballot, keep it and do not open it. Okay? Go down on Election Day on November the 8th. And when you do that, what you want to do is you want to make sure that it's unopened. Walk in and ask, have I voted? it's going to be very important because a lot of people are going to find out that you voted already. And if you have voted,
can you say that again? Hold it.
Yeah,
Hey, this is a very touching. No one ever mentioned this to me. I've been doing this for a long time now.
okay,
Repeat, please, for the folks and for me. So you go down there with your ballot and
the yellow envelope.
the yellow envelope,
right?
It's not open.
It's not open.
and you ask if you voted.
That's right.
Jesus. Okay.
And then what's going to find out is they're going to say, well, obviously you haven't voted. You have the envelope with you, and you go, no. I want you to actually
Click it.
see if I voted, and if they have, then they immediately call the sheriff. Their identity's been stolen, and so one of the
Well, they
things.
already send it when they send the applicant. They put a vote
That's right.
for themselves, whatever it is.
Whatever it is, and whoever's doing all this. And so this is a way that we can sit down and we can actually do something, and with the sheriff making a report, now they have standing.
See, we didn't know where it took us, right?
That's
See
right.
that, Eric?
See, those that hung into the end, this is what they find out.
Yeah, this is what you find out.
Whoever's hanging out right now, listening.
Bonus.
That's a bonus. Please check in because the voting, people taking it easy is not easy. That's the only thing left for your freedom. That's the only thing left for our freedom. I don't want to say mine because it's all of us. It's
That's
us.
right.
If that goes away, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to say a bad word, but you know what I'm talking about, kids. You know what? Because
Right.
at the end of the day, that's the only sacred notion and motion for we the people from this moment moving forward. It's your vote.
Absolutely.
So Becca, you never finished here. Can you continue telling me there's more?
Okay, and so, the thing is that Joseph Chaplik, he and I have been talking and stuff, and I've been helping him with a lot of the different evidence that we've been presenting and what we've been doing with the Senate, with Karen Fann and stuff.
Right.
And so these are the people that actually helped me out and has actually talked to me about
He's in
what's
my
going
district.
on.
He's my friend as well. He's a great guy.
Absolutely, he
That's why I
is.
was checking to see everything's going smooth.
Yeah.
And how about the other ones? Is anybody else?
Nope. Nobody else.
This is it.
That's it.
From
That's
all the
that-
list.
That's all the list.
So I'm going to run down the list if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay, there's some of them that are not running for office. Alex Colodone.
Yeah.
Joseph Chaplik, you just mentioned.
Yep.
Rachel Mitchell, no reach. Abe Hamaday,
Nope.
no reach. Blake Masters,
Nope.
Dr. Kelly Ward.
Nope.
Well, Chairwoman Dr. Kelly Ward, I gotta say the right way.
Right.
Representative nominee for Secretary of State, Mark Fincham.
Absolutely. He has helped me.
He is not?
He has.
He has.
He has.
Yeah, you
He's,
mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, he has.
Now, that's another. Andy Biggs, you did. Paul Gosar, you said. David Schweikert.
Nope, hadn't done anything. In
That's
fact,
Congressman from
in fact,
LD3.
I found out that he had been telling people not to donate to my campaign. That's how bad it was. He was telling.
Well, that's why I want to know. This is Matt Brill Talk Show. We as real as we can get. Sometimes we get hate mail, but the hate mail that I get is always about the truth. And that's okay. I welcome it.
Right.
But here's the question. Carrie Lake.
Carrie Lake's been so busy that
Well, she's very busy
yeah.
that I'm on the
And
trail.
all of the people that are around her, she has come into my congressional district at least 5 times, and not once has anybody reached out to me to be a part of it.
I noticed Wendy Rogers is not here. Wendy Rogers.
Wendy Rogers, basically, she told me that until I actually raise $100,000, she will not endorse or support or have anything
So
to
she's
do with
not
me.
endorse you either.
So, and I haven't raised it, so she hasn't.
Well, now you know why I wanted to talk to you.
Yeah.
Because when I didn't see your picture on this, as I'm looking at the list, I said, that's a question. I thought you were out sick, or, some people have COVID, some people not feeling good. You always leave the benefit of the doubt. But you didn't see me when I saw. I said, "Oh, you're okay. Like you're all right."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just want you to know I'm really sorry. I apologize as a citizen, because to me, I like to see unity.
Well, the thing is that it's politics.
It's a bloody sport, but not that.
Basketball is a contact sport. Football is a collision sport.
Right.
But politics is a blood sport. And if I got offended, the greatest thing that ever happened to me
Right.
was being an NCAA basketball official.
I remember.
Because I had to make calls in a game that pissed everybody off, and nobody liked me. And then when the public came out and they said something, or a reporter,
Reporter.
said something to that reported against
Yeah.
me, I couldn't say anything. Guess
Wow.
what? I can say something now, so I can come after them just as hard as they come after me.
Well, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to shift gears a little bit because I don't know our time. Are we running on time? We got a couple minutes? Because I want to ask you, okay, a couple more minutes. Okay, I'll do it quick. We're going to have to rush a little bit.
Okay.
My question to you, when you're a congressman, I ask that to everyone because everybody gives me different answers. What is your first thing on your agenda?
My first thing on the agenda is to make every bill where all you do is you have to have it within 5 pages. And we're going to take all the illegalese out of it so that it's so the average person can actually see it and read it for themselves and understand what they're doing. That's one of the very first things we will need to do. The other is the pork bill. I'm tired of all of these bills being put inside of a bill that's going to pass and then have Nancy Pelosi say, well, let's just sign it and figure out what's in it. How about let's know what it is and then we'll sign it or we'll cut it out and stuff. So we actually need to start doing our job and representing the people and stop having it where we send $1.2 trillion to Ukraine. This is what Ruben has signed off on. So he's Ukraine first. I'm American first. I think that all of our funds should stay in America to take care of our needy, our poor, our homeless, and our veterans. And we need to start doing that. And that's where we sit down and draw the line and say that we put America first.
So now, go back. I'm going to take you back to when you first rolled, about almost a year and 3 months now, or 4 months?
It's longer than that because I've been going. I've been going. So when I was healed in 2024, on December 24th in 2020.
2020, yeah.
I was healed.
So that's 2 years ago.
I declared on December 26th. When I was in January 6th, I was
2020.
in 2020.
I remember.
So
that's
on December
that's what I'm saying. I'm taking you
22nd.
back there.
Yeah.
If you had to review, that's why my question to you, because I know you from the beginning. Listen, I met you the day even before you announced. Let's go back. We go back on a record here for a long time now.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's 20 years, because I see you often. You know what I mean? My question to you, if you had to rewind now, and do speed check, like forward, what is the most outlandish and the most beautiful and the most difficult thing you went through in these 2 years on the campaign trail?
I think the thing is that people telling me that they could promise a lot of things and not deliver. I think that is the number one thing, because they come in and they say, I can get you elected.
And they even say bad names
this.
after it.
I've
blah,
worked
blah, blah.
with this people. I've done this. That's right. Yeah. And we went through it and stuff. And the thing is that we need to sit down and actually have people that will do what they say. Right. So we had a president that he made statements. He made promises, and he kept promises. And we need to actually, and that would be 45, and that's Donald Trump. And for that, the thing is, that's right. And the thing is that because of that, he showed us that somebody could actually do that. Well, that's the same thing. I'm a pastor. Truth is very, very important. I have a higher power that I have to adhere to. And God's going to hold me to that. So I'm more terrified of my Heavenly Father giving me headaches back and putting me on a couch and forsaking me like I thought He did, instead of raising me up for such a time as this.
Mention this? Can we do we have a few minutes? Because he has a very intrigued situation, because he could have not even ran. Yeah. Can I say it? Is that okay? Is that personal? Because it's personal. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so HIPAA is not going to come after me.
Right.
You know the HIPAA rules, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You know the medical. So if you want to mention it, you're welcome. If not, that's fine too.
No, that's fine.
Can you tell the viewers out there, so the voters know, how the miracle happened when you were feeling down and it was no cure, like you were feeling, can I say sick?
Oh, absolutely.
Debilitated. Can I use the word debilitated?
Yeah. Oh, I was debilitated.
Because you were debilitated. Can you explain to us what the rise and how the strength and all the praying and the miracles that happened to you.
Okay, so my
Take me
story.
to day one.
My story starts 40 years ago. I was a defensive back playing football at Texas Tech University. I
Right.
took on a guy that was 6'9", 398 pounds.
Right.
We hit helmet to helmet. I fractured my neck.
Yeah.
What I was left with was headaches and stuff, and so I had headaches every day for 40 years. Now, 9 years ago, I walked into Burroughs ER because my wife had to drive me there. I had a blood pressure of 248 over 198. I should have died that day.
Well, that's what I wanted the viewers to know because I know the whole story. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so one of the things is that over the next 5 years, none of the neurologists could figure out what was wrong with me. No matter what kind of drugs they gave me, what kind of injections they gave me, nothing seemed to work. And so this is something that was very, hurtful for me because I was in medicine. My job was to take care of and make people
True.
well, and nobody could do it for me. And then what happened is that I became 100% disabled. For 2.5 years, I lived on a couch, in bed, and I paced the floor. That was my life. In fact, my wife and I were planning my funeral.
Well,
So-
this is what I heard. You have to. Yeah, I was going to mention that to you because I knew that too.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you were ready to kick the bucket.
That's right.
What's the turnaround?
So on December 24th in 2020 at 3 o'clock in the morning, I prayed a different prayer. I said, Father, I don't want to live this life any longer, but whatever you want me to do, wherever you want me to go, I will do that, and I will be your faithful servant. Now, you have to understand, I had several jobs. I was a curriculum developer.
Right.
I taught anatomy and physiology and pre-med, pre-nursing classes. I was a scuba diving instructor.
That too. Yeah.
I was an NCAA basketball official. I'm an ordained minister, and I was also a deacon in a church. So God was always prevalent in my life. And so I sat down and I said, I don't want to live this life any longer, but whatever you want me to do. As you're sitting beside me, God stood in front of me, and he said, I'm going to break your headaches, I'm going to restore your health, and I'm going to send you to Congress to represent my people. Now, I can tell you that I had headaches every day for 40 years, and I haven't had a headache since December 24th of 2020.
Lord have mercy. Yes. That's a miracle.
And that is. I can tell you that I could barely walk across the living room floor without getting out of breath. I can tell you that I'm walking 6 to 8 miles a day, 6 to 10 hours a day, and my health has been restored. The only thing left that needs to happen is for godly men and women to vote their faith, and I'm the next congressman in Congressional District 3. So you have a choice. If you choose not to, if the church does not vote, then they will reelect Reuben.
Reuben.
And the curse that he represents of killing children, killing elderlies, taking your guns away from you, not allowing you to speak, making sure that cancel culture is a way of life, and doing all those things, and closing your churches, that's what you vote for. But if you vote for me, then I'm going to be fighting for the things that will happen, which is I'm going to fight for your First Amendment rights, your Second Amendment rights. In fact, I'm going to fight for all your rights. I'm going to make sure that you are represented and that Christ himself is going to be represented. Here's the other thing that's going to happen. Because I'm an ordained minister, I'm going to preach the Word of God on Tuesdays at midnight in the congressional floor at the podium. Because I'm a living document, they have to air it. So you're going to be able to see my preaching take place on the congressional floor, and I'm going to do that as long as I'm a congressman, and that's something that I promise everybody
And I
to
want
do.
to add one more thing. I noticed too, a lot of people told me that you give them your card and you tell them to call you personally.
That's right.
And
That's
the
right.
first 10,000, don't tell me that's through the grapevines. So you see my research? Can you explain that to me?
So this card that I have right here, it has my personal
We're gonna hold
cell
you
phone.
accountable on that.
Absolutely.
Show it to the team.
So the thing is that this has my personal cell phone number, my email, and my website. And what I'm asking people to do is to actually hold me accountable. How do I represent people if I don't hear from them? And the thing is that because of that, this is something that is important to me. The problem that I'm having with Reuben is that I've called him, I've emailed him, I've done everything that I possibly can to reach him, and he does not respond. I get canned emails. I get no calls back. And so this is a problem, and I'm tired of this. And you know what? So is everybody else that I talk to. Except for the one lady who
While you
says
have
it's
this
okay
out,
to
can
kill
you
children.
give us how they I was going to read it, but I couldn't. It's like small. Can you tell me how people reach you, especially your voters, the voters? Yeah.
Absolutely. So go to jeffzinkforcongress.com, and what you do is that you go to my website. When you email me, it comes directly to me. I'm the one that actually responds. The phone number that's on that website also comes directly to me. I will respond. And so it's very important that people understand that,
Folks,
that somebody
hold them
is actually
accountable.
doing.
Give him that vote. Map Real Talk Show with you here. We verifying it. We're going to hold them accountable. You know me. I'll
That's
go
right.
after every candidate and every official that needs to be held accountable. For the
That's right.
past year and a half, I have them all on recorded, and they're going to have to deliver to the American people.
Absolutely.
To we the people.
Well,
not for me.
And the thing is that we're about to lose our country.
That's right.
And if we don't vote the right people in this time, we're going to lose this country.
It's imperative.
This election is so important, and if we do not vote our faith and we don't put the right people in there, we're going to lose this country forever.
I'm going to end it on this one because that's the nicest message people wanted to hear. With that said, this is, ladies and gentlemen, Map Real Talk Show with you here. We're in Dream City Church out in Cave Creek, Arizona, with the group of Coalition, especially Patriot of Arizona. Those are the ones that invited me. As you know, I'm also a member of that
Absolutely,
group.
yes.
And that goes with Doug Epstein and Bonnie Epstein's and the whole group of volunteers. I just want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm with all conservative on my far right. Give him a shot with the screen over there. Right there, that's Eric,
It's Eric
Williamson. Yes, sir, I want to thank you for everything, as you all know. You know, I'm very upbeat because at the end of the day, we need to take our country back, and that's how you're doing it.
Absolutely.
We're working together for one common ground, and you know what that is? You, the people. You know what I mean? We are production right now for you. And I want you to know one thing for sure. It's our duty for me to present you the information, whether it's good or bad or ugly, but it's imperative. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't say goodbye. I always say, stay tuned. But first, I want to thank Jeff Zink for coming and talking to us with that.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for having me on your show and stuff. And the thing is, I always mention this every time I do this. If you really want the truth and you want the news the way it's supposed to, Map Real Talks with George. I mean, there's not somebody that is going to sugarcoat anything. He holds us accountable. I have no problem. He always tells me, I don't want to give you questions, but I keep telling him, no question is off limits. And the thing is that this is the kind of reporting that we have to have. We have propaganda and with other news organizations, and here is a breath of fresh air that is absolutely something. And I applaud you for what you do.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you. And the thing is that Eric, he's always he's every time I turn around, he works on my campaign. He's the guy that's the driving force on my website. So everything that goes right on that. I
did not know this, by the way.
And then everything that's wrong is my fault. You come and talk to me about what's wrong on the website, and you tell me, and then he corrects it, and because I'm the one that tells him what to do. But he's the one that organizes it and makes me look smart and look good and stuff. So these two men beside me, these are guys that you've got to set and follow and watch and make sure. And Mac Real Talks is something that we need to make sure that we support people like this in order to make sure that we get the truth out, and the truth is what will set us free.
Well, now I see him. When I said I want to speak with Jeff Zink, are you ready for the role? He goes, of course. I said, oh yeah, bring Jeff. Now I know what's going on. He goes, yes.
So,
well, just to show you, like, how much he's fond of you, sir.
Well,
you know, I tell the truth. That's why sometimes you got to have a little laugh. You know, at the end of the day, you know, we're human. Yes, we're in dire situation, but we have to make the best we can. We're doing it right now. And with that, we're going to have to close. I know I went to overtime.
Right.
My apologies, but I'm with Jeff Zink.
I
Ladies and
appreciate
gentlemen,
it. Thank you all so much.
yes, Map Real Talk Show with you. We don't say goodbye. We say stay tuned.